In today's video, we have a lot of news. Some good news, but also, unfortunately, some bad news. We start immediately with the top 3 flash news of yesterday. With the first one, yesterday, Bernardeschi was able to overshadow the first performance of Lorenzo Insigne. In 45 minutes were enough for the Lord with an assist and then a goal to overshadow Lorenzo Insigne. We have to say it and we have to repeat it. Lord Bernardeschi is clear of Insigne. Number 2, yesterday, friendly between Lens, the French team, and Inter, the number 2 of the Italian Serie A last year. 1-2. You will tell me, how is it possible? After the 90th minute goal of Lens, there were some goal of the new signings of Inter. Dybala at the 91st and the Bremer at the 92nd. And the number 1 news, number 1, is that Juventus is increasing their staff member. Yesterday, 2 new members were added and one will be super important. It's head of performance. Why am I saying that? Because yes, the bad news that we will talk a bit more in the video after the intro is that Paul Pogba had already to say goodbye to his teammate yesterday in training because of an injury. Put a maximum of likes, subscribe to the channel. We start immediately after the intro. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Sunday, if you are expecting big news, pay attention for the rest of the video. Pay attention for the last news of the video because there is a player that potentially could be really close to Juventus. But first we have to speak about a lot of things. I told you, good news, bad news, the one of Paul Pogba. Attenzione, we'll speak a lot about Pogba today. But first, let's start with some positive news. Like Gazzetta dello Sport is opening their front page today with Di Maria, La Luce di Maria, the light of Di Maria. Guys, do you have still these images? The highlights and skills of Di Maria versus Chivas. What did Juventus do? Who did we brought in our team? That amazing control, but not only, and their change of direction, the dribbles and so on and so on. If we go back to one day before, Gazzetta dello Sport was, yes, again, speaking about Juventus with a big interview, 2 pages of Leonardo Bonucci. They said, I am ready to win everything. We are ready to win everything, starting to win in Italy, but then also Champions League, something that he's personally missing. Let's see if he will have the future of Buffon that never won it, or maybe he can change the destiny of Juventus, because I remember, for the people that forgot, the last time that we won was in 96. Can we do it? Yes or not? We don't know, but in the double page, he's speaking about a lot of things. Really beautiful, interesting article from Gazzetta dello Sport. This time he's speaking about the welcome back of Pogba, speaking about the strikers that is suffering, like for example Lukaku coming back in Serie A, great asset again for Inter, but also the one that is suffering the most. Speaking about Zapata, he's mentioning Zapata, and we all know it. We all know it, especially if you know the career of Leonardo Bonucci. Leonardo Bonucci has always been criticized a lot by Juventini because he went to Milan, because he scored and he celebrated in front of the Juventus fans. We know it, but yesterday, according to me, he spoke like a real captain, defending Juventus. And I have to say that I don't care about the people that are leaving Juve. The ones that are staying at Juve are interesting me, and I want to back them up like he was backing up Juventus. Why? Because he spoke about De Ligt. When he received the question about De Ligt leaving Juventus, was he surprised or not? He said no, because we could already feel it. Every time that he was going to the national team of the Netherlands, we understood and we were feeling that he was not speaking with a lot of respect towards Juve. Always something that was not great. He was not praising Juventus, so we already understood it. Especially in the locker room, the vibes were not as they were. And we spoke about it with him. He understood, but he said, I would have expected a bit more respect towards a player that Juventus really believed in. They invested in him a lot in terms of salary, but also when we bought it for 85 million, he said, but we could have anticipated it. We knew it. I am not surprised. So I have to say this time, grande Leonardo Bonucci, that we know sometimes when he's speaking a bit too much. This time he did really well. Actuality, come back to yesterday. Corriere dello Sport this morning opened with Max se la gode. Max is enjoying it, about the field, about what we saw versus Chivas, but also about other things we are enjoying. Tuttosport is giving some ratings about the beautiful performance and the man of the match, Angel Di Maria, even if for me it was Locatelli. I keep repeating it. But then speaking about the one that did really well, Paul Pogba, Danilo, Bremer, Da Gracca and Compagnon with their goals, but also Perin in second half saving some balls. And then they said the other ones that did really well, they did really well, they did not bad. It was, for example, Gatti, Quadrado and Fagioli. According to me, Quadrado did really bad. He didn't play a really beautiful game. And then the name that everyone is speaking about, everyone is saying that he was probably the best and so on and so on. They're speaking about Fagioli. Fagioli received a 6 on Tuttosport. Why? Because they are saying there were two faces of Fagioli. The one that was doing incredibly well with nearly a goal, worthy, but also some beautiful passes, some interceptions, some moments where he was really understanding the game. This beautiful roulette that is putting him on front pages of everyone. But on the other hand, he lost a lot of balls as well. Not always he was super precise, and that's when I was telling you right after the game that I really appreciated Locatelli over Fagioli. And we continue to say Fagioli did a really great game, and he has also a lot of chances to remain at Juve. In a few seconds I will tell you the one that can leave Juve. Let's see if you will be okay or not. But we continue because yesterday a lot of people were showing a lot of love to Juventus. We start with, of course, the game itself with a lot of selfies, a lot of autographs that were given by the Juve players. But then after the game, the day later, when Juventus arrived in Los Angeles, they went to a special occasion where they were signing shirt and unveiling the special collab with Liberal Youth Ministry. Some really special shirts that were actually sold quite expensively, like the one with the hoodie for $350. Then you had the one that you could have online that was $160, and otherwise you could buy some things on the spot in the store there for €200. In June, before the announcement of Di Maria, Pogba and Bremer, for example, we were already the best Italian team on social media. More than Italy, the national team, that was second, and more than the third place, that was Inter Milan. After winning the Scudetto, they were not even on the podium. What are we speaking about? About interactions on all social media. 11.6 million interaction in the month of June for Juventus, and I'm sure that they will increase in the month of July. Guys, we have to go now towards bad news. I told you we have some bad news. Yesterday afternoon or during the night for us, for people that are living in Europe, Paul Pogba had to say goodbye to his teammates during the training. We still don't understand really well because you have two versions. One that he was just running and he had to stop. The other ones are saying that he received a knock. But anyway, he had to go back and being helped by the medical staff to go back in the locker room. They are saying that it's not something major. It's not something serious. They are maybe thinking to give him 1 or 2 days of complete rest so that we are not going towards something serious. But guys, we spoke about it last year. It's something that we really have to solve, because if we continue like that, you can buy whatever player you want, Maradona, Pelé, and whatever. If they are always injured, we have a problem. We have to fix that. This is something we really have to fix. But then Juventus is trying to fix it because they just hired 2 new members. One that is Luca Maggiani, club referee manager. We still don't understand what that figure will bring to Juve, but anyway, it is what it is. But the first people that Juventus announced was Giovanni Andreini. Who is he and who will it be? He will not be the replacement of Folletti. I know Folletti started to become a big name on social media. People are always blaming him. He will not be his replacement. He will be a bit more a manager role, because he will supervise all the different clubs, from the first team to the youth team, head of performance. He will try to analyze all the performances, medical performances, training performances, also the physical condition and so on. He will analyze all these kind of things and will try to put a tactic into it, a strategy. So let's see, give him some times, but welcome to Giovanni and Luca. Tuttosport, we continue speaking about Paul Pogba, because Allegri said, Paul Pogba, I want you to become an example for the youth. He was praising a lot of players like Di Maria and so on and so on. Also Paul Pogba, he said beautiful words about these two, that these two, they understand football immediately. They are instant players. You don't even have to speak a lot because they know what to do. So a lot of beautiful words, but then he also said, pay attention, Paul, pay attention. I want you to become an example for the people because sometimes you are overacting a bit. You started really well, especially with that beautiful shot from the distance after 8 minutes, but then in some parts of the game, you are overacting, looking a bit to do a bit too much. I'm asking you also sometimes to play simple, because otherwise you are giving bad signs to the young players that it is okay to overact and to do unnecessary things. So pay attention, Paul Pogba, because you don't have to become again the one that you were 4 years ago. We are expecting a more mature player, like you arrived in training and you are really an example of the field. Now on the field as well, pay attention to not do these kind of tricks too much, because if you can go simple, you have to go simple. Paul Pogba, that is giving nicknames to all the players, like Rodman for McKennie and so on and so on. He also spoke about Dusan Vlahovic. He said, no, Dusan is too difficult, I call him Dudu. So we know that the new nickname of Vlahovic is Dudu. He said, I was really impressed by Dudu, by Dusan Vlahovic, that is a young talent but is really great. I'm also impressed by Federico Chiesa, for example. So he spoke well about a few players there. Yeah, I spoke you and I told you that I wanted to give you an update about the young players. I know it's a big debate on social media who will stay between Miretti, Rovella and Fagioli. If you are focusing on Rovella, he has been asked by Salernitana. Apparently he found already an agreement. Their details are missing to find an agreement also between Salernitana and Juve for a year of loan, a dry loan, no more. It's not an option, it's not an obligation, just a dry loan. So Fagioli has more chances, Rovella, sorry, has more chances to leave the club and Fagioli to remain at Juve. But we have more news, especially about Miretti, because this morning, under 23, they gave the list of people that will travel 1 week together with them in Ritiro, in their tournée, not in USA, but in Italy. There are 23 players, or I don't remember how many players, but who is there on the top of the list is Adrien Rabiot, that personally asked to be there, to be called up. The club gave permission, so he will continue to train with the under 23 for that week before joining the first team when they are back, if he will join, because he's on the market. We know that Mama Véronique is talking with Paris Saint-Germain to have the French player to Paris Saint-Germain, where he started his career as a young player. Let's see. But what was really impressive was that they were speaking about some players that will not attend, and they are saying about Samuel Ealing Jr., Gabriel Mulazzi, and Riccardo Turicchia. Why are they not there? Because they had their international duties with Italy, with the under-19, so they will not be there. Something really important, because Miretti, that also had his international duties, was not mentioned. Why? What can we understand with that? That the Italian young Miretti is now officially a first team player. Will he remain or not? We don't know, but it's really a good sign. One that can leave, and we are towards the end of the video, is Arthur, because Arsenal is insisting to have him for a loan with an obligation to buy. Guys, I'm thinking to buy an Arsenal shirt if they do that. I'm thinking about it. Who can enter? 2 players, Paredes, more and more links for Paredes, even if it's not the priority at the moment. Who is the priority? A striker. We all saw that at the moment Keane was performing super well in training, but then when he had his chance in his first 45 minutes, probably flopped a bit. Moise Keane. Guys, Juventus, they understood the problem. We need to fix the players that are playing offensively. Without Chiesa at the moment, we are a bit too light there, especially if Vlahovic will not be there. We can have potentially a problem, and they are thinking about Morata. This morning, Franco Leonetti was reporting that Morata is closer and closer to join Juve, especially after Arnautovic said to Bologna that he wanted to stay. This was it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. A lot of news. Guys, it is what it is. Let's enjoy the moment. Hopefully there is nothing really strange and too serious for Paul Pogba. Grazie, forza, Juve.